It's noon in the 14th century Granada, and 12 bronze lions suddenly roar to life, each shooting perfect jets of water into the air. Not because of electricity, not because of modern pumps, but because medieval engineers just casually created a water-powered clock that's been telling time for 700 years. And that's just the appetizer. Welcome to the Alhambra Palace, where Islamic engineers said, "Hold my mint tea," and proceeded to build the most mind-bending water system in medieval history. We're talking about fountains that defy gravity, air conditioning powered by pure physics, and a hydraulic network so sophisticated that modern engineers are still scratching their heads, wondering how they pulled it off. Today, we're diving deep into the engineering wizardry that turned a fortress on a hill into the ultimate medieval smart home. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at your modern plumbing the same way again. The impossible challenge. But first, let's talk about why this entire project should have been absolutely impossible. Meet our protagonist, the Nasrid rulers of Granada, who in the 13th century looked at a rocky hill 200 meters above their city and thought, "You know what this barren mountaintop needs? The most luxurious palace in Europe, complete with fountains, baths, and gardens." Here's the tiny problem. Water doesn't flow uphill. Shocking revelation, I know. The Guadalupe River flowed far below, mocking them from the valley. Most rulers would have said, maybe we should build down there instead, but not our medieval masterminds. They looked at this engineering nightmare and said, challenge accepted. The physics were brutal. Getting water 200 meters uphill without modern pumps was like trying to make your Wi-Fi work through 3 concrete walls. Technically possible, but you're going to need some serious engineering magic. So how do you move water uphill when gravity is your biggest enemy? The answer lies in a 6-kilometer journey that redefined what was possible in medieval engineering. The Royal Canal, outwitting gravity. Here's where our engineers pulled off their first impossible trick. They followed the Guadalupe River 6 kilometers upstream, 6 kilometers, until they found a point higher than their palace. Then they basically told the river, "Thanks for your service, but we're redirecting you now." They built a dam, not just any dam, but a precision-engineered water diversion system that created what they called the Royal Canal. And here's where it gets absolutely insane. They had to maintain a slope so shallow, so perfectly calculated, that the water would flow exactly right. Not too fast to erode the channels, not too slow to stagnate. We're talking medieval GPS-level precision here, people. With nothing but ropes, basic surveying tools, and pure mathematical genius. Historical records from the period describe this as one of the most ambitious hydraulic projects ever attempted. The Chronicle of the Conquest describes the canal as a river bent to the will of man, which is basically medieval speak for, these engineers are absolute legends. But here's the kicker. Getting water to the palace was just the beginning. What they did next makes the Royal Canal look like a warm-up exercise. The pressure cooker solution. Because apparently, just having water wasn't enough. These perfectionists wanted high-pressure water. The Royal Canal delivered water, sure, but with all the pressure of a broken garden hose. Our engineers needed to power fountains, create steam for baths, and run those legendary water clocks. Low pressure wasn't going to cut it. So what did they do? They invented medieval hydraulic engineering. Step 1. Dig a massive storage pool high above the palace. We're talking 400 cubic meters of water. That's like storing an Olympic swimming pool on a mountaintop. Step 2. Create an underground well system 60 meters deep. That's deeper than a 20-story building is tall, folks. Step 3. Install water wheels powered by animals that would lift water from the bottom of those wells to fill the high storage pool. The physics here are beautiful. By storing water above the palace, they created what engineers call head pressure. Gravity became their friend instead of their enemy. Every meter of height difference translated to increased water pressure throughout the system. But wait until you see what they did with all that pressure. The next engineering marvel will literally tell you what time it is. The Lion Fountain Time Machine. Forget your Apple Watch. These engineers built a timepiece that roars. The Court of the Lions. 12 bronze lions surrounding a central fountain that doesn't just look pretty, it tells time with hydraulic precision that would make a Swiss watchmaker weep. Here's how this medieval timepiece works, and prepare to have your mind blown. The central bowl has 12 holes, each positioned at precisely calculated heights. Water fills the bowl at a constant rate. And when I say constant, I mean constant. The engineers calibrated this so perfectly that it takes exactly 1 hour for the water level to rise from one hole to the next. As each hole gets covered by rising water, the corresponding lion activates, shooting water through internal pipes. By noon, all 12 lions are roaring with water jets. It's like a medieval light show, but with hydraulics. Archaeological evidence from restoration work in the 1960s revealed the incredible precision of this system. The holes are positioned with millimeter accuracy, and the internal pipe network is more complex than some modern fountain systems. But here's the absolute genius part, the reset mechanism. After 12 hours, how does the system start over? They built an automatic siphon that drains the entire bowl in seconds using nothing but physics and surface tension. It's a medieval toilet flush mechanism that's been working for 700 years. And if you think that's impressive, wait until you see where this water goes next. The thermal bath system will make your modern spa look like a kiddie pool. The medieval spa experience. From telling time to ultimate relaxation, welcome to the world's first luxury spa. The Alhambra's thermal baths weren't just about getting clean. This was where kings made deals, where diplomats negotiated treaties, and where the power players of medieval Spain came to literally chill out or heat up. The system had 3 zones: cold plunge pools for shock therapy, heated rooms with underfloor heating, and steam rooms that would make your modern sauna jealous. Here's the engineering masterpiece. Water from the fountain system flowed into an underground control room with copper boilers heated by wood fires. The hot water then traveled through a network of pipes to power showers and fountains throughout the bath complex. But the underfloor heating system? Pure genius. Steam from the boilers was directed through channels underneath marble floors. The floors themselves became giant radiators, warming the rooms from below. The steam then traveled up through hollow pillars and vented into the steam room through precisely positioned outlets. The roof had star-shaped windows that could be opened and closed to control steam levels. Variable climate control in the 14th century. Let that sink in. Contemporary accounts describe these baths as chambers where earthly paradise begins, and archaeological excavations have revealed the sophisticated network of pipes, drains, and heating channels that made this possible. But how do you keep a palace cool in one of the hottest parts of Spain? The answer involves turning physics into air conditioning. Medieval air conditioning. Who needs electricity when you have evaporation? Granada is hot. We're talking scorching, sun-baked, make you question your life choices hot. But inside the Alhambra, cool, comfortable, and refreshing. The secret? Every fountain, every pool, every water feature was strategically placed to create natural air conditioning through evaporation. As warm air moved over the water surfaces, evaporation cooled the surrounding air, creating microclimates throughout the palace. The engineers understood something that wouldn't be formally studied until centuries later: evaporative cooling. They essentially turned the entire palace into a giant swamp cooler, but elegant and beautiful instead of, well, swampy. The courtyard designs maximized this effect, creating wind tunnels that channeled cooled air through living spaces. Modern climate studies of the palace show internal temperatures consistently 10 to 15 degrees cooler than outside temperatures, achieved purely through water-based cooling systems. But our story isn't over yet. the water still had one final destination, and getting it there required the most mind-bending engineering trick of all: the gravity-defying finale. Just when you think these engineers couldn't get more creative, they literally made water flow uphill. The western section of the palace, where the soldiers lived, sat 6 meters higher than the rest of the complex. 6 meters might not sound like much, but in hydraulic terms, that's Mount Everest. Most engineers would have used more water wheels. Our Alhambra mastermind said, "That's boring. Let's make water lift itself." Enter the most mind-bending device in the entire palace, a gravity-powered water lift that used physics so clever it seems like magic. Here's how it worked. Water flowed into a container with a hole in the bottom, creating a whirlpool. At the center of that whirlpool, low pressure sucked air downward into a lower container, creating a mixture of air and water. This gassy water was lighter than pure water, so it could travel higher up a parallel pipe. By maintaining constant flow through the whirlpool, the system continuously lifted water 6 meters higher than where it started. Think about this. They created a hydraulic elevator powered by nothing but swirling water and air bubbles. No external power source, no complex machinery. Just pure physics turned into engineering magic. Modern hydraulic engineers studying this system describe it as remarkably sophisticated and ahead of its time by centuries. And the most incredible part? After 700 years, through wars, conquests, and centuries of wear, the ultimate triumph. Many of these systems still work today. Walk through the Alhambra right now, and you'll see fountains flowing, hear water moving through channels, and witness engineering that has outlasted empires. The Royal Canal still carries water. The Lion Fountain still marks time. The cooling systems still beat the Spanish heat. We live in an age of planned obsolescence, where our phones break after 2 years and our cars need constant maintenance. These medieval engineers built a system that's been running continuously for 7 centuries. Recent restoration projects have revealed the incredible durability of the original construction. UNESCO World Heritage reports describe the water systems as remarkably well preserved and testament to sophisticated medieval engineering. The triumph isn't just that they solved impossible engineering challenges, it's that they built something beautiful, functional, and eternal. These weren't just engineers, they were artists, mathematicians, and visionaries who looked at an impossible problem and created a masterpiece that still inspires awe today. In our modern world of digital solutions and temporary fixes, there's something profound about encountering engineering that was built to last forever. The Alhambra's water system reminds us that true innovation isn't just about solving problems, it's about creating solutions that transcend time itself. So the next time someone tells you that medieval people weren't sophisticated, show them this video. The next time you're impressed by modern engineering, remember that 700 years ago, someone figured out how to make water flow uphill using nothing but whirlpools and air bubbles. The Alhambra Palace proves that with enough creativity, determination, and pure engineering genius, you can literally bend the laws of physics to your will and create something so beautiful and functional that it will still be amazing people centuries later. If this video made you appreciate the incredible ingenuity of our ancestors, smash that like button faster than water flowing through a medieval siphon. Subscribe for more stories of engineering wizardry that will make you question everything you think you know about the past. And here's a question for you. What modern engineering marvel do you think will still be working 700 years from now? Drop your predictions in the comments. I'd love to see if we can match the foresight of those medieval masterminds. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, sometimes the most incredible innovations come from the most impossible challenges.